The Berean Pulpit welcomes you to my study from Hillsboro, Missouri. Hello, this is Brother Oates. Philippians chapter 1, verses 22 through 26. But if I live in the flesh, this is the fruit of my labor. Yet what I shall choose I wot not, verse 23. For I am in a strait betwixt two, having a desire to depart and to be with Christ, which is far better. Verse number 24. Nevertheless, to abide in the flesh is more needful for you. Verse 25, and having this confidence, I know that I shall abide and continue with you all for your furtherance and joy of faith. Verse 26, that your rejoicing may be more abundant in Jesus Christ for me after my coming to you again. The Apostle Paul viewed the remainder of his life not as wasted time, but as fruitful labor. Being alive was synonymous with being fruitful when it came to Paul. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse number 9, he says, for I am the least of the apostles, and am not meet to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the church of God. But Paul more than made up for lost time. Verse number 10, he says, but I labored more abundantly than they all. Paul was all about serving Christ with everything that he had. So much so that in Philippians chapter 1 and verse number 23, he came to this dilemma when he said, for I am in a strait betwixt two, having a desire to depart, and he uses the word depart there, a term that sailors would use when they would launch a vessel out into the seas. It was a term that soldiers would use when they broke camp and moved on. It was a term that soil workers or farmers would use when they unharnessed the animals after a day's work. It was a term that Paul would use in some of his last words to Timothy. In 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse number 6, for I am now ready to be offered, and the time of my departure is at hand. Verse 7, he says, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. In Psalms 118 and verse number 24, the Bible says, this is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. As Paul came to the end of his life, he counted down the days to his departure. But he was always making every day count. Bereans, search the Scriptures. God bless you.